The ship crashes into unknown shores. Leif Erikson staggers onto sand that shouldn't exist. His compass is wrong. His maps are useless. He's just become the first European to set foot in America, and he has absolutely no idea. Picture this. It's the year 10,000 AD. While Europe huddles in the Dark Ages, fearing the world will end with the new millennium, one civilization is thriving, the Vikings. These aren't the horned helmet barbarians Hollywood sold you. They're master navigators, shrewd traders and accidental explorers who are about to rewrite history. Meet Leif Erikson, son of Eric the Red. Yes, that Eric the Red, the guy so violent he got exiled from Iceland for murder. But Leif, he's different. Think of him as the Steve Jobs of the Viking Age. Innovative, ambitious, and about to stumble into the discovery of a lifetime. Here's what blows my mind. While Columbus gets all the credit for discovering America in 1492, Leif beat him by nearly 500 years. But here's the kicker. It was completely by accident. No grand plan, no royal funding, no quest for gold. Just a Viking who got spectacularly lost and changed the course of human history. And the crazy part, his own people barely cared. Imagine accidentally discovering an entire continent, and your family's response is basically, "Cool story, bro." Drop a comment right now if you think you could survive as a Viking explorer, because by the end of this video, you'll realize just how insanely dangerous their lives actually were. Our story begins in Greenland. And yes, Vikings lived in Greenland. Eric the Red named it that as history's first marketing scam, trying to attract settlers to what was essentially a frozen wasteland. It worked. Leif grows up hearing stories from a trader named Bjarni Herjolfsson. Picture this guy as the ancient equivalent of that friend who always has crazy travel stories. Bjarni claims that while sailing to Greenland, he got blown off course and saw unknown lands to the west. Forested lands, rich lands, most people think he's full of it, but Leif, he's fascinated. Now here's where it gets interesting. Leif isn't just some random Viking. He's been to Norway, met King Olaf Tryggvason, and converted to Christianity. In Viking society, this makes him a bridge between old and new worlds. He's progressive, curious, and has access to the best ships and crews money can buy. So in the year 100,000, Leif makes a decision that will echo through history. He buys Bjarni's ship, the same vessel that allegedly spotted these mystery lands, and decides to investigate. But here's what nobody tells you about Viking exploration. It wasn't brave, it was desperate. These weren't adventure seekers. They were refugees from overpopulation, climate change, and political violence. Sound familiar? What happens next will completely change how you think about American history, because Leif is about to make landfall somewhere that will blow your mind. Leif assembles a crew of 35 men. These aren't just any Vikings, they're hand-picked specialists. Navigation experts, carpenters, warriors, and one crucial addition, Tirka, a German who raised Leif from childhood and knows more about land assessment than anyone alive. They sail west into the unknown Atlantic. No GPS, no radio, no rescue plan, just wind, stars, and pure Viking audacity. Here's what's insane. Vikings navigated using something called a sun compass, and possibly even crystals that could locate the sun through clouds. We're talking about medieval GPS technology that we barely understand today. First landfall, somewhere along the Canadian coast. Leif names it Helluland, Stone Slab Land, probably Baffin Island. They take one look at this barren, rocky landscape and basically say nope and keep sailing south. Second stop, Markland, Forest Land, likely Labrador. Now we're talking. Trees everywhere, perfect for shipbuilding. But Leif wants more. Then they find it. Third landfall, Vinland. And this is where history gets wild. They beach their ship in what's probably Newfoundland, and it's paradise. Mild climate, salmon-filled rivers, and here's the kicker. Tarka, that German guy, starts jumping around excitedly. He's found grapes, wild grapes. Now pause the video for a second. Guess what this means for Viking society? They've just discovered a land that can produce wine, liquid gold in medieval Europe. This isn't just exploration anymore, it's an economic game changer. Think about it like this. Imagine if SpaceX accidentally discovered a planet made of rare earth minerals. That's the magnitude of what just happened. But here's where the story takes a turn nobody saw coming. Leif and his crew spend the winter in Vinland. They build houses, explore the territory, and document everything. This is systematic colonization, 500 years before Columbus even learned to tie his shoes. But then spring arrives, and Leif makes a decision that changes everything. He leaves. Wait, what? You discover America and you leave? This is the moment that breaks everyone's brain about Viking exploration. Here's the thing, Vikings weren't conquistadors, they were traders. Leif looks at this vast, beautiful continent and thinks, nice place to visit, wouldn't want to live there. The distance from Greenland makes supply lines impossible. There are indigenous peoples who might not appreciate Viking settlement. And back home, there are political situations requiring his attention. So Leif packs up, sails home to Greenland, and basically files the discovery under interesting weekend trip. His brother Thorvald tries to establish a permanent settlement later, but gets killed in conflicts with indigenous peoples, whom the Vikings called Skraelings. Other family members make attempts, but they all fail. Within a generation, Viking America becomes a footnote. Remember that time we found a whole continent story told around fires in Greenland. But the story doesn't end there, because what the Vikings left behind in America is about to rewrite archaeology forever. In 1960, Norwegian archaeologists Helga and Anne Steine-Ingstad proved it. Lance or Meadows in Newfoundland, undeniable Viking ruins. Workshops, living quarters, a smithy where they worked iron. Physical proof that Europeans reached America 500 years before Columbus. Here's what's mind-blowing. Leif's accidental discovery shows us that exploration isn't always about grand plans or manifest destiny. Sometimes the biggest discoveries happen because someone gets lost, stays curious, and has the courage to investigate the unknown. Think about the entrepreneurs and scientists today who stumble into world-changing discoveries while looking for something completely different. Penicillin, post-it notes, the microwave, all accidents that changed civilization. If you want more stories about history's greatest accidents and the people who turned mistakes into miracles, subscribe. Because every week, I'm digging up the forgotten moments that shaped our world. Speaking of world-changing accidents, next week we're exploring how a Chinese alchemist trying to create immortality elixirs accidentally invented gunpowder and changed warfare forever. What would you have done in Leif's position? Stayed in America or sailed home? Team settlement or team strategic retreat? Let me know in the comments.